How World of Warcraft ruined my sex life. I started playing WoW about 10 years ago, near the end of the Burning Crusade. I started out on the role-playing server Moonguard and have been playing on it ever since. My journey started in Eversong Woods as a Blood Elf hunter. I didn't really grasp the concept of role-playing because I was only about 12 years old, but the idea of pretending to be somebody else in a fantasy world really gripped me. I was that kid that fought imaginary bad guys on my neighborhood street, after all. Anyways, I inevitably got into RPing, and after a few months, I actually got a pretty decent grasp of how to do it properly. My problems started when I met my first RP girlfriend, a Blood Elf mage named Rosalana. Things started out innocent between us. Our characters would hold hands and maybe give each other a peck on the lips once in a while. However, things gradually became more heated between our characters, and everything suddenly changed one day when Rosalana suggested that we ERP. We were young. I didn't really understand what the implications of ERP were, but to keep it safe, let's say it's when you have your characters rub their happy parts together. I figured, what's the harm in that? It would just develop the character's storyline further, right? It did, but it also developed something else. While our characters were going at it, I felt a strange sensation, something completely new to me. I had never masturbated before, so I didn't understand what was going on at the time, but let's just say that my rage bar was full and I didn't know how to spend it. It was an uncomfortable experience for me, but oddly satisfactory, I guess. I had no idea that everything was about to change for me. We finished our embarrassing ERP session, and like a seed was planted in her character, a seed was planted in my mind. It started out curious. I couldn't stop thinking about what our characters had done. At the time, our characters were just laying on top of each other without any clothes on. It wasn't very descriptive. I had to dig deeper. I had to know what the experience really felt like, what it really looked like. So I went on Google. I typed Blood Elf naked. Oh my God. As soon as I saw it, I felt like a phoenix awakened inside of my chest. My entire body was hot. I was literally sweating. Once again, I felt my rage bar begin to fill up, and I closed the website down. I felt guilty. I didn't know how to explain it. It's like a feeling of shame washed over me, but I didn't even know what to be shameful about. I lived in a Christian household at the time. Like, were these the forbidden feelings that I was warned about? The next day at school, I went to one of my friends who also played WoW at the time. We'll call him Ross. I explained to him what Rosalana and I did and the way that it made me feel. I honestly thought that he was just going to laugh at me, but I had nobody else to go to. To my surprise, he didn't. In fact, we went through our little bro moment and he congratulated me with a fist bump. Ross told me that I got in, which I kind of just passed off as a joke, but then I told him about what I searched on Google the day prior. I think he saw how naive I was then, because he actually just responded with, and I won't forget it, "Dude, you've never jerked your dick?" I bursted out laughing and he joined, but I think it was at my expense. He told me to meet him at lunch later where he'd explain everything. And he did. I went home at the end of the day, ready to explore. I closed my door. I fired up Google. I typed naked Blood Elf and hit enter. I'll let you infer on what happened next. I was hooked. I spent the entire rest of the day surfing the web for Blood Elves, and when I came around to logging onto WoW, I saw Rosalana was online. I whispered her, asking if she'd like to ERP. She said yes. We did our thing. And when my rage bar was full, I knew how to properly spend my points, and I can with utmost confidence tell you that it was the most DPS I've ever put out in a single go. Things would continue like this. I spent most of my life outside of school on WoW. I was getting older, and I was being conditioned by numerous amounts of RP partners and Rule 34 WoW threads, to the point that it became the only thing that I could really think about. The only thing that I could, spend my rage to. As I progressed into adulthood, I actually managed to find a few girlfriends out in the real world. This was after, my 5-year WoW relationship with Rosalana failed. Won't get into that here, but if you want to know more about that, I might make another post about it. Anyways, I could never manage to keep a girlfriend because I simply just couldn't perform in the bedroom. Plain and simple. I can only get off to WoW characters, or WoW roleplay. Make fun of me all you want, but this is a serious problem and I'm not sure how to address it. I grew up associating sexual pleasure with World of Warcraft, and now I can't shake that mindset. I only subbed to BFA to get my daily FAP in. I'm serious. I'm grateful that today I'm in a WoW relationship where my partner acknowledges my problem and agrees to ERP with me every day. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to do anything. She actually visited about 2 months ago, and we weren't able to have sex because she isn't a blood elf. Luckily, she brought her laptop, she went into the next room, and I was able to get off to her character, and then we went out and got ice cream. I need help. I don't know what to do. So I'm turning to YouTube and I'm turning to Reddit. Should I press legal charges on Blizzard for crippling my life? Should I cut off all my RP friends? I don't know what to do. Please, help. With love, Neatlo.